Standards are high, as they always are, for coming up with the ultimate matchups in a given week of football games. Many hours have been put in to prepare for this segment, and we do it now with the Thursday matchup draft for Week 11. What do you have?
Well, I'm going to go right to your team up there, the Purple People Eaters up there. Specifically, just the Vikings run game versus the Cowboys run defense. That to me is, the story of the game in a lot of ways. Dallas, we know you can run the ball on them. One of the things I talked about on the podcast to reemphasize the issues Dallas has there and the resources they have to put into stopping the run. Dallas, you go across their defensive line. It's the two defensive ends. It's 265 pounds. It's 255 pounds. One of the defensive tackles is 280 pounds. And then they have one 300-pounder as far as that shade nose tackle. It's just not big enough this day and age in the NFL. So that's an issue, and we're going to see. The Vikings are not a great running team, but they're a dangerous running team. I honestly don't know if you guys run the ball enough in some ways, where I get through games and go, damn, I think they could have ran the ball a little bit more and been more effective. But to me, that will be the key of the game, because if you gash them a few times, that Cowboys team, they're going to have to get everybody at the line of scrimmage, and that could lead to Justin Jefferson with a lot of favorable looks downfield.
I'm trying to find games we haven't already talked about, but we've done a nice job of staying on track today and talking about a lot of the games in Week 11. I'm going to go to Foxborough, Bill Belichick versus Zach Wilson. What will be done to confuse, confound, defy, and just screw up a guy that they intercepted 3 times? What will they do differently? What will they be doing by way of just trying to stay one step ahead of his brain as he still tries to figure out this game and have it start to slow down? Belichick had 2 weeks to get ready. He'll have something cooked up to confuse Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I this is definitely, the thing I look at. We know, Zach Wilson, is he going to fall in the trap? Is he going to be smart with the football? Or is he just going to do what he's done during the games they've won? And to run the ball, high percentage passes, and then every now and then a chance comes to throw a laser, and he's capitalized on that. So, that'll be interesting to see, certainly. I think the next one I'm going to go to Monday Night Football here. Vance Joseph versus Shanahan. That to me, Vance Joseph is shown the ability to give Shanahan some problems. He's one of the few defensive coordinators in football that seems to have a clue and how to stop all the stuff Shanahan does at times. And last year the Arizona Cardinals went 2-0 against the 49ers. And one of those games was with Colt McCoy at quarterback. So I look at that chess match there, where it's a good Arizona defense. They're creative. They don't have great run stoppers. That's a little worrisome, but he's creative on that side of the ball.
I always look for these little tentacles that may not be obvious, and I've been wrestling with the Commanders-Texans game because I believe the Texans could upset the Commanders coming off of that big win over the Eagles. But you know what I remembered? Lovie Smith fired Ron Rivera in Chicago.
Whoa.
Rivera was the defensive coordinator of the Bears, the team he played for, and Lovie Smith fired him at a time when Ron Rivera had that vibe of a potential head coach. Ron Rivera isn't going to forget about that. So Rivera versus Lovie Smith, that adds some spice to a game that you otherwise look at and say, who cares? That's a reason to care about that game. Matchup draft, Week 11, Round 3. Chris, you're up.
All right. I'm going to Eagles-Colts here. And specifically the Eagles run defense versus the new Jeff Saturday offensive line rushing attack against the Colts. I think the Colts can hang around in this game. They were short passes, RPOs. Their defense, as we've discussed already in the show, is very good. I have a hard time thinking that Philadelphia is going to just overpower them or trick them anyway. And if the Colts can run the ball on a defense that we're seeing you can run on, I think that game could be uncomfortably close for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm going to be interested to see that. They run the ball a little bit. It will be uncomfortably close.
Matt Ryan, Philly guy, has had some big games against the Eagles in the past, and now he's back. He's resurrected as the starter. I'll go to tonight's game. the point we made to start the show. Let's just finish it there. It's got some symmetry to it. The Packers running game against the Titans defense, because this Packers running game rejuvenized. I knew I was going to say that. Rejuvenated, energized. Rejuvenized is a word that I'm going to start using all the time.
Hey, it's a Simmsism. I like it. I think it kind of works.
Rejuvenized the Green Bay offense. I've been hanging around you way too much.
That was mind-blowing.
The rejuvenized Green Bay offense is going to run into a Titans defense tonight that is not going to let them do what they did to the Cowboys.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.